And joining us now for more is Executive Vice President of the Trump Organization and author of the new book, Under Siege, Eric Trump. So nice to be with you. I wish it were under better circumstances. Can you tell us when you first met Charlie Kirk? When did he first sort of come on the scene for you?
So Charlie's been a friend for well over a decade. He came into my office, I'll never forget, it was 2015, maybe the very beginning of 2016. And he was so young. They only had a couple of chapters of Turning Point at that time, but yet he had these kind of aspirations of growing into the greatest youth movement the country has ever seen. He wanted to recapture the hearts and minds of, the youth of this country, which were being so indoctrinated, and just had really, the progressive kind of tendencies of all the schools had taken over their minds, and he wanted to capture them back. And he laid out this plan. I'll never forget it. I'm like, those are lofty goals, and everything he told me, Rob, that he was going to do, the man did. I mean, he did all of it. He accomplished all of it. And, he led an entire generation. In fact, he ended up leading multiple generations. But, he changed the whole tune of these, campuses. He changed the whole attitude of the entire youth vote in this country. I mean, even that last day, you see the amount of people, how they were cheering, how they were throwing hats, how they were thrilled to be engaged in the process of democracy in this country. And we hadn't seen that action in a very long time. I mean, my father did that for the entire country. Charlie certainly did that for the youth vote in this country.
I've heard people say and this sort of thing happens. I didn't realize he was 31. Remarkable how young he was. But I've heard people say that politics was probably in his future. And that could have been at any time. Think about it, 20 years from now, Eric, he'd be 51, still a relatively young man. Do you think that the left changed the course of American history yesterday by killing this man?
Well, there's no question, right? I mean, they always resort to violence. That's the whole point. I mean, you mentioned my book in the intro, but that's what they do. I mean, they try and put you under siege. When they've lost the narrative, right? What do? They resort to violence. I mean, I watched my father almost get assassinated on high definition TV, right? As did the entire nation. I saw him almost get assassinated, a couple months later on a golf course in Florida. We saw what happened to Steve Scalise. We saw what almost happened to a great Supreme Court justice, Kavanaugh, where somebody tried to, kill him. And now we saw what happened to Charlie Kirk at this, amazing kind of gathering of youth people on a campus, right? And so there's no question he had politics in his future. And what's amazing about Charlie is he built a movement. He built a following. You have so many people who will try and go and, they'll try and go run for Congress when they're 24 years old, 25 years old, and most of them, they're just not old enough to do it, and they haven't. I mean, he built a following that would follow him to the end of earth because he did it well. I mean, everywhere, Rob, I went in the country, whether it was on real estate, whether it was for politics, everywhere I went, I saw Charlie. I mean, that guy burned through shoes. He was in a different state every single day. He worked 7 days a week. I mean, politics wasn't only his job. Turning Point wasn't only kind of the organization he wanted to build, but it was also his hobby. It wasn't 9 to 5 for him. It was a 7-day-a-week thing. And there's no question. I mean, there was no one smarter. There was no one that could debate him. He had incredible conviction, even around topics that are often kind of tiptoed around by so many modern day politicians.
Yeah.
Isn't
that, by the way, Eric, isn't that funny? You can laugh about it now. I was thinking about it yesterday. They shot this guy. He wasn't a politician. He wasn't a conventional celebrity. Okay, like Martin Luther King Jr., who was not a politician or a conventional celebrity, but he had such an impact. Martin Luther King Jr. also in his 30s when he was gunned down by an assassin's bullet in 1968. Charlie Kirk had a following that is absolutely undeniable. But what was his crime? Was his crime saying that perhaps men shouldn't be playing in women's sports? Was he so controversial that they had to permanently silence this man forever? And I'll just say that when Bobby Kennedy, JFK, and MLK, when they were killed, there was no social media. People didn't have cell phones in their pocket. Now we do. And this is some of the reaction that we've had over the last 24 hours. This was TMZ yesterday afternoon. Take a look.
Janet, go to have somebody look at the Fox. Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead.
All right, so is this ready to pull the trigger? We can get Trump cut in a second.
And that kind of stuff was everywhere. People cheering after finding out that somebody had been assassinated in public in front of 3,000 people on camera.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you said it best, right? You had MSNBC who literally came out and, called him right-wing activist because he didn't think that it was okay for, I mean, he questioned why so many transgender people are committing the school shootings in this country, and whether it's okay if a guy like me, right? I'm 6'5", I weigh 215 pounds, get to swim in collegiate sports against women that weigh 140 pounds, right? And
Right.
I mean, he has the audacity to question things like that, and loves God, loves the flag, loves the country, loves family, believes in the family unit, believes in having no crime on our streets, but yet he's very far wing according to MSNBC. I mean, it's tragic. And listen, Rob, I mean, it's what they've done to our family the entire time. They've absolutely everything they do. They first they tried to impeach, then they tried to silence, then they tried to gag order, then they ripped us off of social media, right? Then they tried to imprison. They had every DA and AG. Then they try and take you off of ballots in states. Then they go after your allies. They try to imprison them. You saw how many times they did that, whether it was Flynn or Manafort or I mean, go down Bannon. I mean, I could go down the list there. And then when that doesn't work, they try to kill my father multiple times, and then they go after Charlie Kirk. And, this is what they do. This is the siege that they lay. And it's incredibly tragic. And you know what? They think that by trying to erase a Charlie Kirk, right, that is going to make the movement go away. They think that by killing my father, that MAGA will somehow just fizzle out. In fact, it does the exact opposite. It epoxies these things in. It solidifies these things in. And the amount of people also on social media right now saying, you know what, I changed party affiliation because I'm tired of the nonsense. I'm tired of the nonsense, and we only see the bullets going one way in this country over the last 10 years, and that's toward Republicans. And, I'm going to just end with this. It's why you saw my father win every single swing state. It's why you saw my father win the popular vote in this country. It's why you saw Miami-Dade, which hasn't been won by a Republican, right, in 37 years, flip over and go 11 points in favor of my father, right?
Jeez,
People
Eric,
are sick and tired of the nonsense in this country.
Such a good point. They just created 1 million Charlie Kirks, didn't they, all around this country? Just a couple questions. J.D. Vance is in Utah. Charlie Kirk's body will be flown home aboard Air Force Two. Your father's going to give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom posthumously. I'm not. Do you have any idea what the funeral will look like? I mean, I know the president will likely be there, but this is pretty remarkable. It will be as close to a state funeral for a non-politician that we've ever seen, whatever his family, of course, ultimately decides. And then I guess my final question is, when you saw the video yesterday, and I hope to God, if you're at home and you haven't watched the full video, don't do it. But when you saw the video, were you reminded of what could have been a little more than a year ago in Butler, Pennsylvania?
To say deja vu would be an understatement. I mean, I had my kids on my lap when I was watching Butler when I saw, 15 agents hop on my father and he goes down, right? And my father was wearing a dark blue suit. I didn't know if he got hit in the abdomen, the chest. We had no idea what happened to him. I mean, my heart was in my feet. My heart was on the floor.
Right.
My kids watched it live on TV. They were 4 and 6 at the time. Yeah, there's no question. It was absolutely a flashback for myself. It was a flashback for Laura. I mean, Laura took it pretty hard yesterday. I mean, everybody took it hard yesterday. I mean, the whole country took it hard yesterday. But yeah, there's no question. I mean, that was absolutely a flashback to that moment. And hey, this isn't a unique scenario anymore. Like, they tried this at a golf course. The guy's on trial in Florida right now. The guy was caught in a bush with an AK-47. They tried this in Butler. They succeeded yesterday. It's tragic that our country has come to this, and it's even more tragic that it's being celebrated by so many on the left. It's truly sick. These are disgusting, deranged people. And truly, I don't think the country will stand for it, because 99.999% of the country are on the side of good, righteousness, God.
Yes.
People don't want evil to. Evil has never prevailed in the United States of America. It's not going to prevail here.
It won't this time. We cannot lose faith. We can't lose faith. You tweeted this. We will strive to make him proud and pray that God watches over Erica and his 2 precious children. We cannot lose faith because Charlie wouldn't have wanted it. Eric, great to have you on. Congratulations on your book, Under Siege. I wish that it were coming out at a different time because it's just so darn appropriate for this moment right now. Eric Trump, thank you.
Information. Truth. is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.